One of the largest requested polls in my community was to see Kissy Missy and Huggy Wuggy, and today we do it in 8 different styles. So let's start off with the glow effect. I chose glow because when I originally did the 8 different styles and I did the drawing for this, I kind of didn't think about where Huggy's head would lay. So the glow effect is actually the perfect spot to do this because I'm able to do a very simple effect, but yet still showcase all of the concept of the effect. So how I achieve it, I'm going to basically add a nice medium light blue over the top, and then just going to put a simple border of the dark blue around the edge, and then just pop in a nice little white highlight right in the middle. And that's going to give it more of that like 80s, 90s neon glow, rather than like a big fluorescent light tube. I want it to look like thin, like script, so it's not going to be as bright and as pungent as some of the other styles. Plus, this is really big, so I didn't want it to be too clunky. I wanted to show a little bit more of an artistic flair. Now that we gave him a glow up, let's head on over to Cotton Candy. The original idea for this actually came from a live stream when Studio of Art came in and suggested for one of the other styles that I was drawing of cotton candy. So I want to give a little bit of a shout out to him, so thank you for the suggestion, because hey, I think it's going to work really well. It's got this dream, ethereal, surreal feeling when it's complete. It's fluffy, it's got the cotton candy colors, and it's just has a really cool vibe overall. But the funny thing is whenever I think of cotton candy, this song always comes to mind. Stuck in your teeth like cotton candy. I really love Hell of a Boss, and I also love Has Been Hotel. And this is kind of like my little quick toss-in homage to the two because, well, it's just a great show. And if you haven't watched it, you should really watch it. It's entertaining, though it is a little bit more on the adult side, but still entertaining nonetheless. Let's head over to anime. When I was thinking of what kind of style I would choose for anime, the hairstyle that I thought would most resonate with Kissy Missy is actually Deku from My Hero Academia. The squiggly hair and the subtle value shadings throughout just kind of really fit, at least the design that I was thinking of. I thought of this really bright neon pink hair with these really dark purple shadows with very little black undertones. I actually think one of the stylistically cool things that My Hero Academia does with their characters is their hair. A lot of unique qualities to all the different characters. There is not a level of sameness. A lot of times with certain anime, it's just give them spiky hair, give them swooped over hair. But My Hero Academia, all the characters have really cool, unique hair, very similar to One Piece. Again, really stylized and very unique. Like, you know you're looking at My Hero Academia, you know you're looking at One Piece. Just finishing off the quick outline, as we're going to call this complete, and now move on to the drip style. When people hear drip, they usually think of this. No, Huggy's not going to be decked out in any kind of chains or any bling, but except he's going to be transformed into basically looking like melted wax or big lumpy drips, and that's the cool thing about this. It has a really fun cartoon style with bold colors and really big drippy marks, and I don't know, haven't done it in a really long time. A lot of these I haven't done in a really long time, or they're fairly new, and I want to just try something different, so I hope you like it. The beauty of this effect is that you can actually use any medium that you have. You can use paint pens, alcohol markers, or even colored pencils. Heck, you can even do it with crayons. And that is the beauty of any kind of art style that I really like to do, is that it doesn't necessarily take a specific medium, that you can achieve it with almost any art style. So I think that's why whenever you see a lot of these 4 different styles, you'll see a lot of glitch and you'll see a lot of the drip style because they can be created with just about any art medium. Just popping in those last minute highlights as we're going to call this one complete and then head on over to the Grayscale. Grayscale isn't so much as an effect, but rather drawing realistically through a gray lens, and that means we're just going to primarily work in a lot of gradations. I'm going to be primarily working with a 2H, 2B, and a 4B pencil, and I'm going to try and push this thing to as realistic as I can within a normal time constraint. I'm not going to sit here and try and crank out a 2, 3, or 4 hour hyper-realistic fur texture drawing. To me, that's just, it takes away the value of what I really want to achieve, because if I try to push this thing as hyper-realistic as I can, well, then it doesn't make it realistic for you guys to try to achieve at home. Again, a lot of the things that I'd like to do, I would like to think that with a little bit of practice, you all can do it as well. So if you want to try this out for yourself at home, a great way to study this is to take an image and then decrease all the saturation to nothing. So now you'll have is a great grayscale to work off of. And what you're going to do is you'll be able to see all of the values in the image that you're working on. And values is basically just a fancy term for black and white, or gradations between. And that's how you're going to get your grayscale. But this is how you're going to learn not only how to draw, but how to paint. Because all colors have saturations of dark and light. So some blues might be very light, but they also might be very dark. So to know where everything sits on the grayscale will help you become a much better, not only drawer, but painter as well. I would say before you hop into painting at all on any fundamental level, you should really have a strong grasp of grayscale and how it applies to the drawing and to the painting. One final tip, you don't need to apply hair everywhere in a grayscale, just need to apply it here and there. But now let's head on over to the splatter effect. Now you might be thinking, why splatter? Well, yeah, Huggy got splattered, so this is the effect where basically what I want to achieve is the aftermath, but I really want it to look like the life is being pulled from the character. I'm going to show lots of movement, but not a lot of detail. I want to show the speed of the action and the movement that happens in the scene. And so how we're going to achieve this? Well, we're going to use lots of line work to show the action. Similar to like the 1920s comics where you'd see lots of lines that emulate the movement of the hand. And you can see later on in the clip I did an excellent job of showcasing that because I completely deleted the footage and I can't find it because, well, I'm such an awesome YouTuber. So yeah, we'll just have a little bit of fun at my expense at this particular moment. I'm keeping the color palette very minimalistic. I wanted to see and showcase the concept that things are being pulled away. And as you can see here, yeah, I screwed up and this is all of the clips basically meshed together in a couple of seconds. But I do want to showcase the movement. And as you can see here, I'm flicking in the hairs, but I'm doing it to make it look like Huggy's being pulled. I really want to showcase that movement. But now let's head on over to my favorite, the Impressionist style. And this is quintessentially what I love about art. It is movement, it's color, it's that instantaneous capture of light and life, and it's something that I've always been fascinated with. I'm not a realist artist. I don't like the time that it takes. I don't think it actually captures the essence of life. I think Impressionism does. It's quick, it's in the moment, but it still gives you a semi-realistic view. So I'm going to give this a very painterly aspect by using only Poscas and other paint pens. But I really just, this is quintessentially my art, and it's something that when asked what I love to do the most, this is it. Now I do add my own flair to Impressionism, but I'm keeping this very traditional. I'm keeping this how it was done in the 1980s, and this was really to buck the system. They were really fighting against these hyper-realistic artists that were commissioned by the government and the state and the church, and so they were like, no, we want to capture the people, we want to capture what they're about. And so this is my homage to them. And now we're on to the last section, and that is the realism. To start off the realistic section, I'm going to start with the eye, but I also want to showcase something that when we use a lot of colored pencils, as you're seeing here, you're going to want to make sure that you do brush off the residue, and we're going to be doing that a lot throughout this video. First, let's put down a nice base layer of the color down, and that's just basically going to give us an area in which we need to start from. Then I use an ink pen and an ink wash to give all those nice little damaged details, and I kind of work in layer. As you're going to see, I let a lot of it dry before I go over the top with just another set of darker ink and then another set of darker ink. Now, if you're still with me and it's close to the 10-minute mark now, then please do me a favor. If you're still here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also let me know your favorite character in the comments. Because as you can see, this is going to take a lot of time. We're just going to be adding in a lot of hair. And if you know me and you know my channel, hair is just, it's not one of my favorite things to draw. But there's lots of textures here, so I kind of take advantage of that, and it became actually one of my more favorite realistic sections to draw because of all the little burned textures, etc. It's not just flicking in tens of thousands of hairs on repeat. Now, if you are struggling with hair or you are struggling with realistic hair, a really simple way is to break down the hair into individual sections. Don't try and draw in every little hair. So as you can see, I put the medium base tone down for all that purple. Then what did I do? I found a little bit of a darker purple, a little warmer red, and I basically bounce between those and break it down into little clumps. And then you can add your blacks and your whites in. But for the lips, I wanted to primarily work with an ink wash to get in all the textures and all the little micro folds of the lips. I like using colored pencils here over the top because the paper is nice and dry, and I can get all this little subtle blending on top by adding a nice little peach color to make those lips just look extra juicy. Again, we have all these nice little burn textures, but also lots of dark shadows. So I can take advantage of that by using the ink wash, and I really love these ink wash pens because they add so many little subtle textures that I don't actually have to draw in all the hair. They give me all the value I need, but they also gray everything out, which works because of all the damage that Kissy has taken. Now I am going to go ahead and add a nice thick layer of colored pencil because that is pretty much everything that is set in dark. And I'm going to add a lot of black over the top, but I want that nice purple to just be present, so that way when I add the black pen over the top, you can see it just adds all those beautiful textures, but still keeps that nice shadowy color. Whenever you're doing realistic, I want you to understand something, that black must be used sparingly. You don't want to overuse it because it can overpower your piece very quickly. And just like that, this behemoth of a piece is finished. I mean, this thing took me about 8 hours to complete, from drawing all the way till finish. So let me know, what is your favorite section? This was probably the biggest piece next to the Saja Boys that I've completed. So thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next video.